What's going on, guys? Okay, actually, that little bit of my closet open is not gonna work for me. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy, JMK. I know that's a little awkward, but I kind of want to change my channel up a little bit, not really go by my first and last name, because there's probably like 500 million James Kims in the world. I guarantee you 99% of you know another James Kim. So I'm actually gonna be transitioning my channel as well as a little bit of my Instagram to the name JMK, which is my initials. Hopefully we can grow that. I do want to, you know, make this YouTube not solely about PA. And I know people always say you want to find a niche, you want to find a little, you know, community. And I think I found that with you guys, and I have the support of you guys to include lifestyle videos, more vlogs, and things about my personal life. And I think you guys have been very receptive of content that I've put out that isn't totally related to PA, but just about myself. So thank you guys for being here. As you guys can see from the title of the video, I'm gonna be reacting to my most popular or my most viewed video on my channel. I think helped me not blow up, but helped my channel to gain the support of you guys. And that's why I chose to become a PA over a physician. Right now, as I'm watching it, it has 190K views, which is awesome. Like, I would have never thought I would be making videos that reach that potential. Obviously, like the videos I make now only get a couple thousand, which is totally cool.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But it's cool to see the impact of this video and a lot of people reaching out and whatnot. Yeah, I made this video when I was 6 months away from starting PA school. So 6 months before PA school, and currently I'm 6 months away from graduating. I'll be graduating in November, around November. I think it'll be really funny and interesting to watch my reaction to the things I mentioned in this video, and if they hold true to, you know, what I believe now and, you know, the decisions I've made to become a PA over a physician. I haven't watched this video recently. I think it's probably been over a year and a half since I've actually watched the full video. The video should pop up right here, but let's get into it. This will be funny, and I think it'll be interesting to see because, I don't know, do I look the same? This was 2 years ago. I think I got a little bit darker, which was nice, you know, a little tan, got a little tan going. But yeah, and I used to use a ring light that was like insanely bright, and so it like got every single little blemish on my face. And yeah, let's get into it. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't put out a video in a while, and I always say that before every video. Today's video is a very special one. Okay, let's stop right there. For a string of time, like for months on end, I would put out videos, and the first thing I'd say was, I know I haven't put out a video in a really long time, but only because I kept uploading like once a month or once every couple weeks, and it felt like a long time for me. And now I know it's like once a month, so it should be normal. It's funny because when I record the videos and I say that, I'm like, ugh, I say that every time. I need to be more consistent. All right, let's continue. I'm gonna be going over why I chose to become a physician assistant over a doctor. Here we go. Ooh. I like that little intro. This is probably the most requested video, so I'm gonna be going over some reasons why I chose to become a physician assistant or chose the PA route over the medical school route. I'm gonna be sitting down today just because I feel like I have a lot more information to share with you guys and talk about how I got to this point of wanting to become a PA. I think the biggest thing that drew me to the PA profession is the lateral mobility. All right, and that still is so true for me in the sense that being a PA, you can work in ortho for a few years and, you know, transition to ER and transition to family med, transition to derm. Obviously, you might have to take a pay cut just because you're gonna be going back to kind of being like a new grad per se, but you do have that option. You don't have to go to residency, like 3-4 years of residency to switch specialties. So that is still, you know, probably the biggest reason why I chose the PA route, and very happy that I did. And with lateral mobility, I mean the flexibility to switch between different specialties. As a PA, when you graduate from PA school, you graduate as a general practitioner, so you're able to work in whatever specialty that you want. You don't have to go to any additional schooling. You know, there are residencies that you can go into, but it's not required. For medical school, you have to go into a residency that's between 3 to 6 years, depending on the program, to subspecialize. And for me, my personality, some of my close friends might say that I'm a little bit impulsive. Yeah, I think I've gotten a little bit better on being impulsive, but I think it's just a trait that I have to be mindful of, and I just love doing a million different things. I like trying new things, so I'm very open to trying new foods, all that stuff, going to new places. So I think it's a good trait, but also, you know, works well with the PA profession, because, you know, if I do get sick of family medicine or I do get sick of a specialty, I can go ahead and transition to a different one. So that's awesome. But I am still a little bit impulsive. When you talk to PAs, most of them have worked in 2, 3, maybe even 4 specialties. The cool thing about that is I think it allows for longevity. It allows PAs to work in the profession for as long as they can. And I think it definitely lowers the burnout rate. And, you know, I think that's still true to this day. Most of the PAs that have worked, you know, 10, 15 years that I've met, they've worked in multiple specialties. And again, they're very happy that they were able to go into a different field or experience a different field and ultimately find one that they're very passionate about. And so, yeah, a lot of PAs have worked in multiple specialties. When I graduate, I'm going into family med, but I promise you, by the time I retire, I'll probably have worked in different specialties as well. So we have that option. And making that impact right away. I also want to be independent from my parents a lot earlier. And with PA school, that definitely facilitates not having to take out so many student loans or having to ask my parents to help out. In terms of taking out student loans, in the long run, you're going to be taking out way more if you go to medical school than if you go to PA school. And with that concept, I don't think I've done the best job managing my money. I think I've been pretty lax about, you know, staying within my budget. And first year I lived alone and I was paying like a total of $1,100, $1,200 for rent, utilities, internet by myself for a 2-bedroom. And I definitely wish I lived with roommates, because I currently live with roommates now in my second year. And I'm paying like $600, a little bit under $600 for rent and utilities. So a big way to save money is to have roommates, and it's only for a few years. Living with roommates definitely saves you a lot of money, and I recommend that. The residency is 3 to 6 years depending on the program for medical school. And again, for PA schools, they do have like 1-year residencies, but they're not required. Something that I like about being a PA is when you start working, you learn on the job, and it's essentially kind of like a residency, and you get to see what fields you really enjoy. But the salary is a lot higher. It's around $90K as a new graduate, as opposed to residency. And so new grad salary now I think is creeping up towards like 95, and some areas 6 figures. So that's really awesome, especially as a new grad PA. And it's scary because, you know, you don't know a lot when you graduate. You obviously know a good amount, but you're still gonna be learning forever. So I always try to reiterate that to people. Going into medicine in general is a lifelong journey, lifelong journey in education. So you better love studying and keeping up to date on all the new procedures, all the new medications, things like that. My next thing is title and personality type. For me, I'm okay not being the leader all the time. I've led different organizations and whatnot, but I also like working in a team, and I don't necessarily have to be the number 1 guy. You can work in a rural community. So with that was a really, damn, I'm impressed with the points at someone's home. I'm impressed with the points that I made. Like, this is crazy that I made this video 6 months before starting PA school. I'm impressed by my maturity and like the information that I'm presenting, because I feel like it's very similar to how I feel right now. You're gonna struggle with the stigma of being a physician assistant, and you're gonna struggle with explaining to people what a PA is. You might consider medical school. I'm very motivated and ready to. So yeah, the title of being a physician assistant, a lot of people don't like the assistant part. For me personally, I just tell people I'm a PA and then describe it to them and then describe my roles. I don't really get too bogged down by the assistant portion just because I know what I'm capable of doing. And as long as you're capable of providing really good care to the patients and you have good bedside manner, they might want to see you instead of the doctor. So it really depends on you as a holistic provider and what you can provide for your patients, and just doing the best you can for your patients. There's kind of a huge task force of people looking to change the name physician assistant to possibly physician associate or something else. I think they're leaning towards keeping the title PA just because most people recognize PAs and understand their roles now, just because it's becoming more popular and there's becoming a lot more PAs in the field. I don't think they're going to change the PA actual acronym, because I've heard other things like, advanced practice provider or advanced practitioner, medical practitioner, things like that. But I know people are looking to keep the PA acronym and obviously find a name that fits that, so we don't have to go through a whole profession change in that sense. PAs that I shadowed were very passionate about the PA profession, and the same can't be said for the doctors that I interacted with. When someone's very passionate about something, it gets you. So with that, I've definitely met a lot of doctors who are super passionate about being doctors and physicians, and they're amazing providers and really amazing preceptors. But again, it was kind of when I was a pre-PA or pre-health or pre-med, the providers that I interacted with, most of them PA or MD, DO, they shifted me towards the PA route. It's all based on your own experiences. Obviously, like, if you have a really good doctor or a really good physician that you know and have worked closely with, that's gonna shift, that's gonna change your mindset on what route you might take. It's subjective to my own experiences, but I felt that the PAs that I interacted with spent more time with their patients than the physicians did, and the PA was able to work more closely with the patients, which I want to do. I highly recommend that you should. So that, I think, is false. I think that was super subjective to my very limited interaction with PAs and providers and physicians. And now, as I've rotated through, 5 different rotations, almost 6, PAs and MDs, they spend about the same amount of time with patients, and it really just depends on the provider. I've seen physicians that spend 20-30 minutes with a patient. I've seen PAs that spend 5-10 minutes with patients. And so it really just depends on the clinic, the environment, the setting. So I don't think that's a really good argument saying that PAs spend more time with their patients, because it's not true. I would say it's pretty equal in terms of spending time with patients with physicians. So my last reason why I chose to become a physician assistant is family. And for me, a top goal of mine, a life goal of mine, is to have a family. I'm single right now, but I do want... And I'm still single. Boy, if you don't get... Not sad life though. I've come to the realization that these past 5-6 years of my life, I've been pushing so hard to find love, find someone that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, that I feel like I'm not spending enough time growing myself as an individual. I'm coming to this realization now, as opposed to, years earlier where I could have been, really focused on my own personal growth and development. But it is nice to kind of realize that I just want to focus on myself, my family and friends, my career, and get all that together and have all that going well for me before I really search for someone or search for a relationship that's gonna help me in terms of making a family or having a family. Yeah, I'm gonna be single probably for the next few years.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
But I think that's how life works. When you least expect it, that's when you find something, find a relationship like that. But I do want to start a family young. I think becoming a PA is more conducive to that and helps facilitate that, as opposed to sacrificing family to go to medical school, residency, fellowship to become a doctor. So don't get me wrong, I have the utmost... In terms of making it harder, I think yes, just because there's more schooling and less time making an income for your family. So it is a little bit harder, but I don't think in the end, when you're a physician or a PA, the timing or the amount of hours you spend with your family is significantly different. I think it's pretty comparable, to be honest. And so the quality of life is pretty good for both. and I don't think a PA, you know, gets to spend way more time with their family than a physician does. But I could be wrong. But just from my experience and my interactions, being on rotations, I think the PA and MDs have very similar work-life balance. So yeah, that's that. Become a doctor. So don't get me wrong, I have the utmost respect for physicians. A lot of my friends are medical school students, you know, applying to medical schools, physicians. So I definitely have the utmost respect for physicians, and I think they definitely sacrifice the most in terms of healthcare professionals. And I still have the utmost respect for anyone pursuing medical school. Y'all, the real MVPs for sure. Well, actually, nurses are the real MVPs, but you guys are like super MVP. You get it, right? Alright, and that's the end of the video. Not much has changed on how my thought process was for choosing PA over becoming a physician. And being 6 months away from graduation, I have those same feelings. Super excited for the profession. Very happy I chose this route. I haven't really been publicizing my merch, so if you do want to support your boy, JMK, I know this kind of sounds weird, but I'm gonna try to transition into JMK, or you can call me James, whatever you guys like, but I might transition my YouTube channel name to JMK in the near future. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to be like my blood type, be positive. I'll see you guys in the next one. And before all the haters comment, I didn't choose med school because of my low GPA, you are 100% correct.